The Apocalypse players present Saturnine Chalice, a Call of Cthulhu 7th edition scenario, written by Matt Sanderson. With Joseph Chance as Zachary J. Crump, illicit distiller. Danann McAleer as Remy Knuckles LeBlanc, serial killer. Dan Wheeler as Clarence Ulysses Barnard or Cub, Louisiana confidence trickster. And Dominic Allen as the keeper of arcane lore. We return to Mr. LeBlanc as he realizes he may be seeing double.
I want to sort of try and kick off the handle, or like jam the lock, or do something. Like
give me a strength roll.
36, which is a hard success on my strength.
You break the handle off, and as soon as you do that, the door that she came through opens, and she comes through the door, and she says, "Oh, hello."
Oh my fucking Christ.
Can you give me a sanity roll, please?
Here we go. Well, I rolled a 40 on an 84, but I still imagine that would be at least 1 point of sanity. I mean, it's your call.
Yeah. You lose a point of sanity.
Okay. Fuck.
So, Cub and Mr. Crumb, you've ended up in the garage with Jeremiah.
Are there lights on in the garage?
No, but there are little windows, so there's light coming in.
Okay. But the lights aren't on?
No.
And I think I look back to the house as I look at the fact that the electric lights aren't on in the garage. Or if they are indeed electric lights, maybe they aren't. Maybe the gas out here. Old lamps, maybe.
They're like kerosene lamps.
Can I still see the electric lights on?
In the house? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's what, 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
It's probably closer to 4 now, 4 or 5. But yeah, it's still light.
It's just it's bugging him, and I think he takes out a little sequence of wires and starts to twine them together into something that he can bend into a leg. He's got 2 arms, he's got the face. Now he needs to put the legs on his little...
His little Pinocchio.
Clockwork Pinocchio.
Well, this is awfully kind of you, Jeremiah. Where should we be looking?
Well, let's have a look-see. And he walks over to the car and he says, "Oh, it looks like someone's been here already."
What's that you say?
He picks up a length of hose pipe, and then he looks under the car and he says, "Oh, yes, someone's taken the fuel cap off. Well, I guess the car's empty. And this gasoline tin's empty too. Well, I'm very sorry about this, gentlemen.
Oh.
I don't know what's happened."
What a shame. I'd like to have a look, if I can, take the length of hose off his hands to see whether it smells or looks like any gasoline has been siphoned through it.
See if it's got my lipstick on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. To see whether some fuel has been successfully siphoned, or whether I'm assuming that Knuckles found, maybe he found the tank empty already.
Dry as a bone. There's not a drop of gasoline on the floor anywhere. So, you assume not.
Okay. Oh, that is a frightful shame.
Well, all's not lost. I can have a look round the rest of the house, and if you want to call the general store, they can send some gasoline. It normally takes them a couple of hours, but they'll get here, and it will be just in time for after dinner.
That's most kind.
Or I'm happy to call them on your behalf. There's no bother. No bother at all.
If you wouldn't mind, I suppose there's no harm. If perhaps we might find a way to get on a move before then, but it would be good to have that as a backup plan. That's most kind, Mr. Jeremiah.
I think it would it would be best if I made the call for us, Mr. Gutenberg. I don't want to trouble you, Jeremiah. I'm sure you have many things to get ready for this evening, for the guests you have coming. Is that right, for the dinner? And
Well, I'm sure my wife will appreciate my assistance in the kitchen.
then there's the ritual itself, the Alhambra, yes,
Abramerlin.
the Abramerlin. That's the one.
Oh, but that will take a long time. It doesn't start straight away. It's really just a celebration for Veronica to wish her luck. But she is starting, I suppose tonight.
Oh, perhaps I misunderstood. I didn't know
it
if
takes months and
the
months.
whole household was involved.
Months and months.
Oh, months.
It's that's why my wife and I were on leave for so long when Mr. Wayland attempted the Abramelin operation.
Now that I'm being re-exposed to it, is there a chance that I could give it another shot? Effectively, maybe push the roll, see if there's anything that I can glean about
the Abramelin.
The Abramelin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like maybe ways. He mentioned demons. That's got me nervous.
I might as well roll my occult as well. I mean, I've got nothing.
Yeah.
But, no harm.
It's something that he's been interested in because of his mother's.
I mean, they're famous last words, aren't they? No harm.
Yeah.
If I'd rolled a 99, that would have been a shame. But no, it's just a regular.
Ooh, I rolled a 15 on a 25.
Oh, great.
So
yeah.
I'll take that down to a hard if it helps. With
No, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, saying this stuff about 6 months, a long time. It's suddenly you have heard of this before. It takes a long time, and it's from the Book of Abramelin. It's quite old. You seem to recall. It's like 15th century or something. It's and yeah, the whole deal is you get to ask your holy guardian angel for special abilities, special powers, but you know that the powers should only be used when there's a true need for them. So normally people who've done this have a very specific need. Yeah. There's been a few translations, and that it's comprised of 3 books. The first book is a letter from Abraham the Mage to his son Lamech, explaining that it's his inheritance, the knowledge of this book. And then in the letter he outlines the quest he undertook to obtain the veritable and sacred magic. Book 2 is the detailed and complex sort of instructions of how to do the ritual. It's months of prayer, studying religious text, and the environment. You seem to remember the environment has to be very, very particular. You can't remember exactly how, but you remember there's fasting involved, and the setup, the room it's got to be in has to be very particular. You seem to remember. And then there's a summoning and binding of demons from hell. And then book 3 is made up of magic squares that are, basically squares that you draw shapes on that are magic words. Yeah. And it explains their powers in the 3rd book.
Jeremiah, forgive me. Yes, would it be acceptable to you? I think Mr. Gutenberg and I need to talk a little bit. Mr. Gutenberg, there is the business of my mother that I wanted to resolve. I was due, of course, to have dinner with her this evening, but given our circumstances, perhaps I could ask for your opinion. Forgive me, Mr. Jeremiah.
Oh, you want some privacy?
Yes, if you'd be so kind. We'll go over here. And
I could meet you back at the house. That's no problem.
That would be very...
But if you need to speak to your mother, you're welcome to use the telephone anytime.
Oh, no, she doesn't have a telephone. She hates them. But yes, but I may need to call the general store.
Of course. Feel free to use the phone. It's in the hallway when you came in.
The hallway.
Well, I'll see you back in the house. Just shout if you need anything. And he trudges off.
I sort of take a couple of steps towards the well side of the garage, if you see what I mean, to the northeast.
Sort of where the gardening equipment is.
Yeah, perfect.
Zachary, it strikes me that if we are going to make a telephone call to the general store, it would be best coming from this man Jeremiah, and perhaps I could convince him to leave our predicament out of the equation and just say he's making a call on behalf of the Wayland family.
Of course. Yes, no, I see your concern. I was just, well, in truth, my mind flashed back to my Boston days. Whenever you said you wanted to make a call, that's because you wanted to make sure that what was being asked for was actually asked for. Sorry if I'm being a bit paranoid. I got a bit jumpy after all that Abermillon stuff.
No.
I started to remember, I read something about it while I was in the
Hooskow.
In the clink. In the Hooskow. In the Slammer. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty involved deal with the demons business that he mentioned. That was casual the way he threw it in there. Were you down when he was talking about that?
No, I don't believe I was. I didn't hear any talk of any demons.
Well, the third part is all about summoning and binding demons, and I'm just a bit nervous that might involve some sort of... Well, people are funny out in these rural places.
They certainly are, and I am not keen to stay in this house or its grounds a moment longer than is essential, but we do find ourselves in something of a tight spot. I wonder...
That's what I mean by making sure that the call is the right call, because maybe it's awfully convenient for them to have a couple of, people who've come in from out of town. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping at straws here.
No, you...
Ghosts. Jumping at ghosts?
Wise.
Clutching at straws.
Perhaps one of us should make the call. Do you... which of us do you think would be more effective at convincing them that we are residents of the Wayland House rather than...
As you say that, I slap my hand onto my forehead and I go, hooey! I forgot about Remy. What's he doing?
Well, I don't know. I wonder whether he may have retreated to the automobile, or else hiding somewhere. Remy?
Does he fuck?
Remy?
Well,
Remy.
if this is happening, what I'd like to do is, after I've stashed her body in the thing and kicked off got rid of the handle, is there a way from the library to get upstairs through the main hall, or can I still hear voices out there?
Well, she's there
right?
in
In front of you.
Oh shit! Oh my fucking god! Oh yeah, of course. I thought that was a dream. So she's come back in.
We're hoping.
I still have the chisel in my hand. Has she closed the door behind her? What's she?
Yeah.
I think I'm frozen for a second. Just
Yeah, and she says, "Oh, hello. I didn't hear you come in. My name's Veronica. Can I help you?"
And I think I instinctively put the chisel behind my back, but I say, well, now, Missy, you're in there.
I'm
You're
sorry.
in there. You're in there.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
Oh, I'm not sure I understand what I'm saying after all. You met my friends.
Oh, the Bible salesman.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Just having a look in the library to see if there was any books of interest. I don't see many Bibles in here.
No, the Bible is upstairs in the study.
Just the one?
The Bible, just the one. We have the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran.
Why do you have...
I will need the...
Whoa, what? No, that's not important. But,
I need them for the operation. I'm about to embark on a long occult operation.
Well, this is what I hear, my darling. This is what I hear. And to be clear, throughout this whole conversation, I'm keeping my sort of black, lank, greasy hair over my face because I'm well aware of what
Just to keep her at
my
ease.
face will do to a person.
Yeah,
and I
that's
say,
scary.
yeah.
Standing there like the girl from The Ring. The crutch.
And I say to her, could you, I just had a frat. I saw someone who looked...
Really?
The spit of you in that little room just there. And I take a few steps away from it and say, would you do me a service and just have a look inside? I know this is your house. Yeah.
Sorry, it just struck me as really funny. Sorry.
I'm not sure what this is about? You want me to look in the closet?
Well, I'll be honest. I just,
For myself.
for yourself. And then I don't know if there's a role I need to do for this, but, could I do, I don't know, could I do like a fucking intelligence roll? Because I feel like he's just losing his mind at this point, and I need to sort of see if I can...
Well, you could do, you could try and... You want her to open the door, so you could do a persuade or even a charm. You've been quite charming. You kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe persuade. If you'll take persuade, I don't want to like shift to intimidate immediately, because she seems to have been quite sweet initially. Oh, 9, and my persuade is only 30, but that makes it a hard success, right?
Nice.
Yeah, she walks to the door and she says, well, listen, if you've had a fright and if it's going to make you feel any better for me to open this door and show you this, that I'm not in there, that I'm here, then I'm more than happy to do it. And she walks over to the door and she says, oh, the handle's broken. And she says, I think I can get it if I put my fingers in. And she puts her fingers in and she tries to find the catch. And then she goes, oh, I got it. And she starts to pull the door open, and then she goes, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know, there is something that... Did you say that it was me?
Yeah.
Not someone who looks like me, it was me?
Where?
And they're in this cupboard.
It can't very well be you, but I thought it was for a moment. That's all I thought.
Oh, wait a minute. This makes perfect sense.
Does it?
This has happened. This keeps happening to me.
In what way?
And then she looks at you and she goes, oh my gosh. I think I've made a terrible mistake. I think you're right. I think... And then the door bursts open. And this figure looks a bit like you. Lank hair and this grey, dead skin and these long claws. Leaps out of the closet and falls onto this young woman and starts tearing at her. Rips her throat out. Blood spews up. And she just like claws this thing and she's just like this feral, naked revenant. And then it...
Oh, God.
Fuck me.
And then this figure looks up at you and sort of snarls, holding the still beating heart of this young girl. And then it darts out towards the kitchen. Boom, the doors, boom. Can you give me a sanity roll?
Yeah. Probably best. That's 62 on my 83 somehow sanity, but I imagine I still lose some.
I mean, you're hardened criminally, aren't you?
Yeah.
But I think such a violent death and supernatural death probably does lose you a point of sanity.
Yeah. Which I'd probably see if I was thinking logically as a bonus, but I'm not in that moment. In fact, I think I've seen something like, not like that, but something similar in its ferocity happen in the communal showers of the place we were all banged up in. And I know what it is to be set upon with that sort of violent, ferocious motion. But it's the fact it looked up afterwards holding the heart. There's something about that I can't comprehend.
It's the Arkham Greenbank penitentiary.
Yeah,
right?
The Greenbank Penitentiary. She had opened the door. She managed to get it open. I'm assuming it's still open. Can I see inside it?
Mm-hmm.
Is the body that I first put in there still there?
No.
Fuck. In which case I don't bother closing it or doing anything with the corpse of the eviscerated version of her.
Mm-hmm.
I think fucking hell, what do I do? I run out into the communal area.
You're in a totally different show to us right now.
Yeah. I run out into the communal area.
I've still got my cigar.
We're talking about which phone call we make first and who makes it.
I run out into the communal area and I just shout. I put my chisels in one hand. I pull the like corks the like screwdriver into the other, and I just shout. We need to get out of this place now. We need to get out of this place now.
As you say that, Jeremiah appears in the doorway, and he says, "Oh, you can't leave now. Just about to have dinner. Your friends are on their way back to the house in a moment. We're going to get you some gasoline, don't worry." And he just sort of walks past you to the kitchen.
I stab him in the side of the head.
I start running. Not because of the stabbing, but because I'm hearing him shouting.
If he literally shuffles past me and I'm there covered in fucking... I just fucking swing the chisel into the side of his head. I've done it to...
I mean, I'm jogging, not sprinting, because I don't understand.
I've done it to more innocent people. As far as I'm concerned, something horrific is happening here, and I don't know if people are dreams or real.
Oh my god.
Yes, you swing the chisel into his head. Give me a fighting brawl roll.
Oh, I'd fucking love to, because it's one of my only decent skills.
He's not resisting.
He's a machine.
I rolled a 4 on my fighting brawl, which is 85.
Oh, wow. Give me the damage. I mean, that's an impale, so you can roll damage on top of maximum damage.
So what do I roll for that? It's 1d3 plus
your damage bonus.
Yes. What is my damage bonus? 1d4.
And then add 7.
3 and a 1.
Is it a piercing weapon as well?
I think it probably is.
He shot the chisel in his head, so I think it probably
At
is
the temple.
piercing, isn't it?
11.
11.
So you plunge this chisel into his temple.
Like kill me.
Into his brain. One of his eyes falls out of its socket as the chisel sort of follows out as well. The end of the chisel sort of sticks out the back of his socket as you push his eye out through his temple. He sort of goes, and as you pull the chisel out, he drops to the floor dead.
I say, come, Zachary, we have to go.
This is the best jailbreak ever.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm fucking losing it because I've seen dead people, so I'm not really bothered about saying your real names.
Yeah, it's true. You've had a nightmare. You've had an absolute nightmare. I've seen some dodgy wiring and a weird gathering of ritualists. I mean, poor old Bernard. He's got no fucking idea.
As if we could have a moment away from the carnage in the house.
So you're still at the garage. You hear shouting. Maybe it's not exactly clear what he's saying,
yes.
But you know who it is.
Yeah. And I know Joseph has said that he's already on the run.
Well, I was starting to jog, but I think it wasn't a sprint, so you could easily hold...
I just wanted to stop you because as soon as you start to run, you're gone. I'm never going to catch you. So if it's fair to say that I've caught you by the arm just as you set off.
Yeah.
We've heard the shouting.
Oh, Cub, I say.
And I say, I say, sounds like our friend there, Knuckles, has got himself into something of a situation. I wonder if those old friends of yours, the Washington boys, might be able to come down with a car and pick us up.
I could maybe try and call Charlie. Wow, I'm so addicted to your accent. New York. Go via New York.
Hard, right?
Maybe I could call them, and I could, but it'll be like an hour and a half. Charlie could come back.
I know. And my one other thought is, Zachary, I trust you as an intelligent man, and I would trust you with my life. And I already feel that the two of us are forming a partnership that may serve us well in the future for many a confidence trick and game played, be it bootlegging or any other type of business. Now, it strikes me that perhaps our friend here is a little less predictable than we had hoped. And if there was a time to cut him loose, perhaps we've come to that time. I just wanted to sow that seed, and you think on that.
I giggle uncontrollably and hop up and down.
That is horrible.
I don't. I'm so flattered, but at the same time, I just look. The phone's in the house. Unless we're gonna make a run for it, we can't make a run for it. We got to get that petrol. He said there might be some in the cellar, in the basement.
He did say that.
Why would there be petrol in the basement?
That's what he said. I'm just saying you were up in the bathroom. I don't know. We got to do something, right? We got to get you to the car. Okay, you're quiet, I'm quiet. Let's go around the house. This way. She said she was going to the library. Maybe we can peek in and see what the heck is going on. And then time out, get away from here. We don't want to go through the woods. And all of the time I'm sort of trying to pull him towards the house, I think, with this.
And I'm looking at the woods and saying, I fear that may turn out to be our only option.
Oh, well, actually, that does give me pause. Actually, that gives me pause. Maybe it's time to go. You're saying cut loose.
As he pauses, I say, let me be specific. Let me be specific now. If you don't like this idea, it's just an idea. I float it for you to consider, given your infinite wisdom, my dear boy, because I know you have a very bright future ahead of you, given your talents with machinery and wires and all of the like.
My eyes go moist.
But it strikes me that we have formed a bond with this family. They do not know Knuckles is one of our companions. What say we were to burst in there, incapacitate him, and play the saviors, play the guardian angels that we have claimed to be. He does not know us by our names Gutenberg and Gabriel that you have so fancifully suggested to them. We could go in there, I could take out my pistol, put a bullet straight through his head and say, Mr. Wayland, an assailant. We saw evidence of him in the garage. We have saved you from possible violence. Please call the police and we will have dinner with you. And
all right, Clarence. Now, Clarence, let's not talk about doing anyone away. The three of us, we got out of something together. We need him, yeah? I know he's gone headstrong, but there'll be a reason. He's our friend. He's my friend. We gotta...
I will never mention it again.
No. Everything you said makes sense. It's like the periodic table, you know? What you're saying is just logical. I get it. But let's just get the hell out of this goddamn garden and up against the wall. I don't like being this exposed. We need to hide.
All right. To the house, as fast as our little legs can carry us. And I start waddling.
I assist, holding your arm.
Actually, remarkably, I've got a move rate of 6, considering my size.
Well, once you start pumping along, it's just the fact you need to wash immediately afterwards, right? Yeah. And there's always the well, mate. There's always the well.
That's true. I spot it out of the corner of my eye.
So my 32 is out. And
as is my 32.
That's the Krux. That's the Krux. Low-powered, easily bought weapon, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So we're heading. I'm kind of making a beeline for what I'm imagining might be the library window, even though I don't know it's the library window.
As you make your way across the garden, can you both give me spot hidden rolls, please?
Oh my God. Huh. Consistently, I put shed loads of points in it. 91.
Yeah, I failed mine as well. I'm thinking about pushing it. But I don't know how I'd push it if I don't know what I'm looking for. So I'm not going to.
I think I'm too busy thinking, and I actually say to you, maybe we could look at that indentation there on that side. Above the veranda.
And I'm trying to keep up and panting and saying, indentation above the veranda. My boy, excellent idea.
Looking at the side of the building, you now both see this stuff that Knuckles saw earlier that you don't know about. This white, possibly blossom, possibly dust of some description, drifting, coming down in little drifts down the side of the house off one of the balconies.
Oh, that's this side.
Yeah, the west side. Are you on?
Yeah, the west side.
Yeah.
Is the balcony sort of above the library or above the hall?
Balcony is...
Or is it further over towards storage and pantry?
It's above the veranda.
Oh, crumbs, that far right. So underneath the cupola
Yeah.
kind of thing. If I understand the geography.
Yeah. Correct.
Darn, because that's where I was going to go and hide, in that sort of corner. In the map, it's the words up to second floor. I was going to tuck in behind that wall. Essentially, if we're getting closer to the building, I do this, much to Clarence's horror, no doubt. Oh, when the saints come marching in, and then I listen.
Oh, do I hear that?
Give us a listen roll, Knuckles.
Oh, there we go. That's a fail, but I'm going to push it. But I hear something, and I think it's someone I know. But I'm in the throes of this. I've just stabbed someone through the head with a chisel. Like, you know that feeling after you kill someone where the air's thick?
Yes.
It's like soup. You feel like you could...
No, I don't.
Like
but I love the fact you do.
Climb into the air and just sit there cocooned in it. But it also deafens your ears. So I have to sort of slap myself around the face and like take a step towards one of the windows because I think I heard someone I know, a voice I know, and a tune I know. Yeah, and it's an 18 on my listener 55, so a hard success.
Did you also chop off one of his ears? To help?
Oh yeah, big time.
And just kind of put it up against the window
with a little straw. But no, I do. That's a hard success, and if I have a chance to respond.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear Zachary.
Guys, I'm going to stop the podcast right there. We need to talk about that right now. What?
You hear. I wanna be in that number. You hear that from inside the house.
Blood spatters up the window. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And as at this point, I think Cubby has just sort of made it back to the house and like leans back against the wall, panting hard, and he hears this very peculiar exchange, and he says to himself, "Oh, damn, we do find ourselves in one hell of a predicament."
Yeah.
So you two, Zachary and Clarence, where are you right now?
I'm imagining that we are. I don't want to go directly under the fallout. So perhaps if we could be in the corner of the hall and the library on the ground floor. But if there's any of this residue that I can see landing on the floor or on the wall, I'd love to have a peek at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to touch it.
Well, as you get a bit closer, you could give me either a natural world roll or a hard intelligence roll, or I'll take a pitch on a science or something.
Foolishly, I went with the chemistry, engineering, and physics. The only other, my natural world is poor.
You could give me a chemistry roll.
Chemistry roll? Hard?
No, regular chemistry.
Regular? Yeah. Wow. It's like chemistry is my cursed roll. Before I rolled a 72, now I've rolled a 71. So I'm going to spend another...
Point of luck.
Luck point. Taking me down to 62.
It's sand. It's white sand. Very fine white sand.
And it's billowing out of this...
Not in great quantities. It's just occasionally the breeze catches a bit and it drifts down the side of the house.
While this is happening, it's fair to say that since we met in that sort of duet, that beautiful duet, all that I've been doing is slowly walking through the rest of the house, whistling.
Which way do you go?
Well, I've looked through all the downstairs rooms, so I think I'm heading upstairs. But I'm just keeping that melody going, whistling.
What's he doing?
He's lost it, man. He's
He's gone mad before he's gone mad. I mean, what on earth is going to happen when he actually goes mad?
That's why we need him. He's a psycho.
Oh, well, I'll tell you. In my mind, what's happening is we've already opened ourselves up to intrigue. There's a phone in this house. I've heard that through your conversations I've overheard. We have to kill them. So it's like...
Kill them.
I'm trying to out them. I'm trying to out them by going up the stairs. I'm assuming some of them are hiding up there. I'm confident in my own abilities. I don't think any of them will have guns upstairs.
We have no idea.
If they do have guns, they'll be downstairs somewhere, but we haven't seen any. So, yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see what happens. So you get to the top of the stairs, and which door do you go through? There's a door immediately to your left. There are 2 doors opposite you, and there's a door at the end of the landing to your right.
Is it obvious which one's the bathroom?
Yeah.
Is there any clue as to what the doors are? Do they all look like the same doors, or is it clear that some are bedrooms?
Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it?
To be clear, I'm still whistling. I'm not hiding my presence.
I'm genuinely more scared of Knuckles than I am of the Mythos.
Well, leaning against the wall next to one of the doors is a copper coal pan and a long-handled broom.
Well, that'll be a bedroom then. Well, I mean, fuck knows, right? I mean, I'm already tripping out. I've already seen the same girl twice. I tripped one out and she just came straight in. But I think, in retrospect, I lost sanity
and then was horrifically murdered in front of you.
Yeah, well, quite. But I'm also thinking how much of that was real. Like, how much of that was me fucking projecting that.
I'll also tell you this.
You could have lost your
Actually,
mind.
can you give me a spot hidden?
Oh, yeah. My spot hidden's good. 60. 71. So useless. Could I push that in some way? Because I'd like to. Was there a movement that I was focusing on, or was it just the general...
It was sort of a passive observation, really.
Right. Well, I think maybe if I'd like to try and push it by I go to the door closest to me, and I think twice about it, and I stop whistling, and I just think, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, for all you know, they could have a gun in a cabinet up here. Yes, we might be about to take out the whole house just for safety, but there's no need to just be scary for the sake of it. Stop fucking whistling. Start paying attention. And I look back to that bedpan and the coal thing, and I just really try and just pause, freeze, and soak in everything. And that's how I push the roll, if that's fair.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And it was a spot hidden, right?
Yeah.
Great, 43, so that is a success on my 60 spot hidden.
The door directly opposite the top of the stairs there's something odd about the base of it. The bottom of the door is sealed.
Like a draft excluder or
like that, but
rubber.
It looks like it's like firm, like sealed with something very firm.
That's weird.
On the other side.
Right. So there's no light spill, basically. It's like there's clearly something.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, basically what I need to do is focus on that room, but I want to throw all the other doors open on the way and just make sure there's no one in there. But I want to do it sort of tactically. So if that means taking a turn each door, that's fine. I want to basically...
So which door do you start with?
Probably the one that I know is the bathroom, but probably my character doesn't know is the bathroom.
You walk to the end of the landing.
Yeah.
And you push open the door of a bathroom. It is empty.
Yeah. No, excess water on the floor, no blood on the mirror, no...
There's a little bit of water on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's probably a fair amount of water on the floor.
Okay, well, from there I head back and I want to just... I'm being quiet again. I think the loss of sanity, even though I didn't have a temporary insanity, technically, it sort of threw me slightly, and I went back into those days of scaring the shit out of people for no reason, and I've realised that's unnecessary. So I'm going back along from the bathroom and towards the door that I know has some sort of barrier or some sort of cover underneath it, and I'm
opening the doors as you go.
Opening the doors as I go. but sort of opening them with a chisel in hand and just pushing them open and hiding behind the,
So the next door you open after the bathroom, you push it open and it's a large room and it's very airy and light in here. The floorboards and the wall paneling and the entire ceiling are white pine.
Ugh.
There are windows on the east, south and west walls, and in the middle of the room is a sort of cuboid altar. It's 4 foot high and 4 foot across and 8 foot wide, which is also made from white pine. It appears to have doors built into it like a cupboard. On top of the altar is a large silver censer with ash in it. And hanging suspended above the altar is a very ornate glass lamp. It's difficult to place culturally. Unless you roll for it, you're not sure where it'd be from.
I won't be
Style-wise.
Yeah.
Do you have physics?
Well, let's have a look. I don't think I do. I do not.
That's fine.
But you know someone who does.
Yeah. So if I see something that makes me go, that looks like physics, I know who to talk to. I mean, I know someone who's fucking good with fucking chemicals, and that's how I know physics. Things like that explode when you don't want them to explode, or you mean them to explode, or, weird shit. I know Zachary.
You can give me if you give me a hard intelligence roll.
That'll be difficult, but let's give it a go. Oh dear. That is.
We are the blunt weapon to this problem.
36 on my 55 intelligence.
That's not bad.
It's a success. It's a success, but it's not hard.
I need a hard, unfortunately.
Shall I? Fuck it. Shall I spend the luck?
How much luck have you got?
36 to 20. I mean, not much, but I haven't spent any. And I mean, fuck it. We're here, right?
Is it 9 you need to spend?
I'll spend 9 luck. I'll spend 9.
Okay. Observing this lantern that is suspended above the altar, you notice the light refracts in it in a strange way, almost like it was crystal. There's all these subtle colours move around the room, but it's always changing.
Yeah.
You realise whatever this is made from, it's not glass. It looks like glass, but it's not. And you notice there is something between the altar and the French windows onto the balcony. You can just see something poking up, like a stick, just the tip of the stick above the altar from where you can see. Basically, you'd have to walk around the altar to see what it is.
Okay. Well, I think I'm probably intrigued enough by this. Having spent the luck, certainly I'm focused on it. And it looks, to me, all I can think is this might be really valuable. So I am going to circle about.
We'll come back to that then. Mr. Crumb and Cub, you were making your way, you were at the side of the house.
Yeah. I think that's really all we were doing. I don't know how long has elapsed.
A few minutes, I think. Not very long.
Yeah.
You heard me shouting.
Time-wise, are we now in the same zone as... I don't mean game-wise. Obviously, any number of temporal anomalies could be being played out. But is he 2 minutes ahead of us?
Yeah, for argument's
game-wise,
sake, if you like.
Yeah, for argument's sake.
I think so, because you just did your singing.
And he replied, and
he's gone upstairs after singing. So it's like, what do we do while he's doing?
I think that's what I don't want to fuck it up in terms of.
No, good question.
I think the first thing that Zachary says is silicon dioxide or calcium carbonate. But why would it be coming from a window? That doesn't make no sense. And then I think I literally lick a bit of it just to double check, even though I'm sure that that's what it is. It doesn't taste like white sand, particularly in terms of like calcium carbonate. It's not like made of seashells or anything. It's not some kind of exotic imported.
I think with your chemistry roll, I think it's safe to say that it is some sort of exotic imported crushed shell or something.
Crushed shell.
Wow.
And it's just still coming down every now and then.
Every now and then, yeah, it just drifts down a bit.
I think I've been holding Clarence by the arm, but now I really clench hold of him and I go, this isn't right. I don't understand what's happening here. Why would it be coming out of the window, Clarence?
I don't rightly know myself.
Did you see the electric wires when we came in?
No, I must confess I was not.
They shouldn't be
looking.
working.
I was not
They shouldn't be
inspecting
working
the
like
electricity.
that. It's bugging me, and it's been bugging me ever since we arrived.
Well, I tell you what's bugging me is the fact that our friend there has just made us accessory to murder, and that is an entirely different crime, punishable by
You're right.
by federal law,
Right,
not
we
state.
have to get out of here.
And
I think there might be some petrol in that there basement. What you want to do?
You both give me a spot hidden roll.
At last.
yeah, that's
It's not hard, but it's a solid.
I've got a hard.
Solid.
So as you're stood by the library window there, Zachary's talking to you, Cub, and your eye is drawn to the large eagle that forms the front of this lectern. You notice it has something scratched on the front of it, a shape that's been etched on clearly afterwards. It doesn't fit with the design at all on one of its breast feathers. And Crumb, you notice this as well as you follow Cub's gaze while he's talking to you, and you see it.
Classic.
But then, Cub, with your hard success, you look a bit deeper into the room and you see the eviscerated corpse of Veronica lying on the floor of the library. I think, given your hardened background, you don't need to do a sanity roll for this because.
Well, I'm not sure whether I've seen a corpse before, to be honest.
Then let's have a sanity roll.
I think I've certainly seen a lot of violence, but I've tried to keep away from this type of things. That's why I'm so furious that I've been dragged into it now. Just when I thought I was out, they dragged me right back in.
You all right?
Oh, that's a hard success on my sanity.
You don't lose any sanity.
I pull myself together, but I say it's so hot. I feel a mighty sweat coming on. So filthy. I feel the filth, and I look and I say, I wonder if we could just maybe get a cool drink of water from that well. And I start just sort of slowly heading off towards the well.
No. Don't go. I can get you a bucket of it. I'll be quicker. I'll run.
That's very kind. And I let him.
So now I'll sprint over to the well.
So, Crumb, you sprint to the well. It's deep. You can't see the water, and it's very dark. There is a bucket on a line there. You can just send it down.
I'll send it down.
Is it all right to say that while he's doing that, I maybe made my way like the next couple of windows along, and sort of like having seen the corpse, trying to get another view at it on the other library windows, and maybe make my way as far as the other window onto the storage room that we haven't had a look at yet. Maybe have a little sneaky peek through that window.
In the storage room, you see a bunch of like household supplies, equipment. There's the stepladder. There's some tools, spare light bulbs, cleaning equipment, that sort of thing. You see a couple of bottles of kerosene, sort of refilling lamps.
Might be a can of petrol in there. Okay, I'm just going to stay there, I think, and wait for Crumb to get back. But I start loosening my shirt and trying to ready myself, rolling my sleeves up so I can at least have a bit of a wash.
I love the cutaway. I'm sweating. I take my cap out. I wipe my brow. Put it in. And I'm just sending this thing on.
That winch, yeah.
And does it hit the water, or does it just keep going down?
Yeah, you send it down and it disappears into darkness, and then you hear the splash of water, and you begin winching it back up, and it is heavier now.
Oh, fuck.
And then you're looking down into the darkness, waiting for the bucket to come up. But instead, there's just a grey hand. And then another one.
Climbing up the wall?
Climbing up the inside of the well.
What the actual...
And then this face emerges, this lank hair and glaring eyes and these rotten teeth. It looks like the corpse of some naked woman just crawling up the inside of the well, grinning at you.
I'm going to fire my gun. I'm going to get my gun out and fire.
And let's have a firearms roll.
Do I go mad first? Is this sanity
Oh, it
first?
will be sanity first. Sanity roll, please.
Yes, 40. 40. Whew, phew. Sanity isn't great. I passed that one.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think I let the winch go, and I take out the 32, and I don't think there's any caution whatsoever. I squeeze 3 rounds into that woman's hellish face.
Great. Well, take a point of sanity loss anyway.
Yep, absolutely.
And yeah, you fire 3 rounds. So let's have the rolls. So there'll be a penalty die on each one.
First one, penalty die. Yes, of course, that is true, isn't it? Yeah, okay. No. Okay. Oh, yes, that's a good one. Second one is hit. But I have to take the penalty die as the higher roll, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a 0.5 versus a 25. And, oh my god, that's a wild miss. Yes, it's a wild miss. So 1 hit.
Great. You can roll for damage.
So it's D8, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a 6.
6. It hits somewhere in sort of like her clavicle area, and she loses her grip and disappears back into the darkness. And catches on the bucket, and the thing, the wire just like the rope unravels really quickly, and the crank whizzes round and then the rope goes taut.
And I think I simultaneously do that thing where you fire, but you're kicking away, and I'm on my ass, scrabbling away, trying to get. And I get up, and I drop my cap, and I'm just running, arms flailing, gun in the air, going, "Oh my God! It's a woman in the well! There's a woman in the well!"
You know, I think I heard those shots, and I think Cubby's a bit of a coward, and coward's unfair.
He's a survivor.
Just a normal person, really. He's a survivor. He hasn't got to the. I have not got to the ripe old age of 45 years old by getting into a bunch of firefights. So he's all I want to do is get back to the banks of the beautiful Mississippi River, bathe my toes in the water, wash away the sin, and then get back to the old game. Maybe just a few, harmless tricks. Just old ladies who've got more money than they know what to do with. Anyway, he's thinking all this. He's looking across at the woods. That's one direction. He's looking back at the car. The car's useless. And he thinks, maybe in that storage room there's a can of gasoline. And so he starts working his way, continuing round the house in the direction he was going to see if he can find a door.
Yes, so you find a door into the store access room.
Yeah, I've got my 32 in my hand and I plan to open that door.
Well, you open that door. There's a lot of dismantled furniture in here. It looks like 2 4-poster beds have been dismantled and piled up against the walls here. There's 2 wardrobes and 2 chests of drawers that look like they're just being stored here. They don't look like they're meant to be here.
That gives me a pause. It looks like someone may have emptied a couple of bedrooms upstairs. I don't think I pause. I don't think I do pause really to look around. I try to use the logic of geography to try and work my way round to the room where I thought I saw some cans of kerosene. I wonder whether there was gasoline as well. So is there a door out of the...
Yeah, it takes you into the kitchen where Rosemary is working at the stove. She's got 2 big pots of food bubbling away and she's stirring them.
Does she look calm, like unbothered?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. These people...
And she turns around and she smiles and says, "Oh, hello, dear. I'm just getting everything ready for dinner. You are staying, aren't you? Because I've made enough.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world. I just immediately switch it on. I wouldn't miss it for the world. It smells absolutely delicious. I have no doubt that anything you cook up, young lady, will be the very finest quality. What is it you got bubbling away there on the stove? That smells.
Have a taste. And as she says that, she sort of bustles her way round the kitchen to get some spices or what have you. What to say about the kitchen?
Stab her in the eye with a bread knife.
Might have to.
Yeah, unless we come back.
Well, it's as I described to Danann earlier. You can see that there are all sorts of, there's chopping boards and sharp knives all lying around, and lots of chopped up meat and vegetables, pestles and mortars. There's tins of, next to the olive oil, there's tins of, they're labelled myrrh, cinnamon, galangal, and other tins, frankincense, storax, and agar wood. But yes, she sort of says, "Oh, have a taste of the stew. See what you think. Does it need salt?"
First, I'd like to have a smell of it. Does it smell like it is edible?
Yeah, it smells lovely. It smells delicious.
Don't taste.
It looks fantastic as well, actually.
Well, then I think I might have a taste.
Yeah.
So you get the ladle, right, and as you pull it up, sat in the ladle is a huge rat. Seemingly alive. And it just sort of looks at you, bares its teeth, and leaps off the ladle onto the floor and scuttles off towards the storeroom, leaving a couple of sort of soupy footprints steaming on the floor.
I lower the ladle back in and don't taste it. Look over my shoulder. Is Rosemary, did she see it?
The soup is boiling as well. It's really bubbling away.
Well, that's probably a sanity roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a fail.
Handshaking.
Yeah.
Putting the ladle back.
Lower the ladle back in.
You go to lower the ladle and then you accidentally sort of drop it, and it as you spasm, and it sort of tinkles away, ting 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 across the floor. You lose a sanity point.
Yeah.
And Rosemary turns around and says, "Oh, is it all right, dear? More salt?"
Forgive me, I'm a clumsy oaf. I've got soup all over your floor. And I go to the sink and start trying to run water and washing my hands and my face and trying to get a cloth and trying to start mopping the floor.
Amazing.
"Are you okay, dear?"
Oh, I hate to make a mess anywhere, especially in such a beautiful, clean kitchen as this.
"Oh, don't be silly. I don't suppose you could... could you just reach me the salt? It's in the storeroom there." And she's chopping away at something.
And she's referring to the room where I wanted to go anyway.
Yes. Where you saw the rat go.
Oh. I say, "Oh, yes, absolutely. I will. I'd be very pleased to help you." And I head to the storeroom.
So Knuckles, you walked around the side of this altar, and you're confronted with a difficult sight. The woman that you knocked unconscious and then saw killed,
Yeah,
is here.
of course she is.
She is clearly dead, and she's braced on a long wooden skewer that is sort of thicker at one end, and it goes through her stomach, through her rib cage and out of her back, and comes to a very sharp point at the tip. You can give me a natural world or a botany roll if you want. If you want to try and identify it.
That's what we used to call a Louisiana backbreaker. You tie someone off that way. But I'll give you the roll. There we go. It's a 30. A 30 on, what was I rolling for?
The old LBB, my cher.
Yeah, well, quite. What was I rolling for?
To identify the wood.
Natural world?
Oh,
Natural world.
Well, almost certainly a fucking failure. I don't know what I'm seeing, but either way, this woman I seen killed twice. Is she dead?
She is dead. She's wearing a simple black dress, and her body seems to be she seems to be decaying. She's not in the state you saw her earlier.
Where's
Looks like she's been like this for a while.
So well and good saying she's dead, saying she's decaying. I've seen her, talk to her in the last hour. That ain't right. That ain't right.
Her hands are around the around this long wooden thing, and there's the faintest hint of a smile on her face.
A smile.
You can see that ash has blown from the censer onto her face.
All right. So looks like it's time to empty these other rooms. I want to start whistling again, and I want to start pushing over the doors to the other rooms upstairs.
Just get out, man. Get out.
Can you give me a first aid, medicine, or intelligence roll as well, actually, while you're observing this dead woman?
I literally just rolled a 6.
Nice.
But it depends what it's on.
It's quite clear to you that she has deliberately fallen on this thing. This is some kind of suicide.
What the fuck? I've seen...
Did you do a sanity roll for seeing her? Or you're hardened?
No. Well, I'm hardened, but maybe that's a sanity roll to see that this... Because I've seen suicides before in prison. You know, they say however many of us end up on the wall. That's how it happens, huh? You know, sometimes they're locked down for weeks on end. The last face you see, it's not your mama's, it's not your pastor's. It's the God who whispers to you, you're a piece of shit and you deserve to die. You know, that's all you hear. And, you know, that's why so many of us end up on the wall. I never did myself because I already knew that about myself. I already knew there was something wrong with me. But I think for that, I take a sanity roll. I take a sanity roll.
Okay. Give me a sanity roll then.
See what happens. Let's see what the fates give us. That is an 89.
Oh dear.
Yes.
And maybe it is because of just that. Because I've seen so many suicides, but none of them have looked like this. I don't understand how someone could do it like this.
Different context.
You lose 2 points of sanity.
Yeah, I imagine I might do.
Zachary Crumb, you were running back to the house.
Yes.
Where do you go?
Yeah. I'm running back to where I last saw Cub, but I can't see him no more. No. So I think I duck in to the probably behind the wall because I'm worried that she's chasing me. So I'm going to duck into that store access room between the pantry and the other servants' quarter. I just duck in there, but I'm not interested in the door right now. I just duck in and I take out my unfinished clockwork automata. And I desperately start trying to fix the last leg to it.
As you're doing that, I think that's probably around then that you hear a clatter in the kitchen. Something metal hitting the floor.
Which is probably enough to break me out of my reverie. I put that back in my pocket. I scrabble around for my 32 and then I go towards the door stealthily.
You don't need to roll for that if you don't want to.
Okay.
I mean, you can if you want to. But
I'll give it a roll to see... Yeah, I'm a little clumsy. Okay. It's not happening.
So maybe Cub hears you enter the room then. But you can see Cub's back to you. He's walking off towards the storeroom. Rosemary is in between you at the island counter chopping something.
I quickly put the 32 down, seeing Rosemary.
Oh, hello, dear. Cub, you probably hear her say that. Just as you're getting to the storeroom door, I think.
Mr. Gutenberg.
Oh, yes, Gabriel. I was just helping this young lady here with some seasoning for her stew. I've tasted it. It's absolutely delicious. I suggest you save yourself for the evening meal and don't spoil your appetite by tasting it right now.
Maybe I should go and speak to Jeremiah about that thing that we talked about? And I nod to him.
And I nod back at him, and I then sort of go into the storeroom and start looking around for sort of salt, but mainly gasoline.
I'll try and head back through to the main body of the house.
Oh, I just as he's about to go, I call out and I say, Gabriel, I know you're pretty talented with motor vehicles. Is there anything which would do as a substitute for gasoline? I don't suppose kerosene would do the trick in a pinch.
Not really. No, it's not how that works. With the right equipment, maybe we could do something with kerosene and a few other things like grain and a lot of alcohol and some other purifiers. And he's sweating. He's sweating bullets as you're saying this to him. He's almost shaking, I think.
Cub, you are going into this storeroom, did you say?
Yeah.
So you go in and it's quite dark in here. There's sort of animals, hanging up on hooks, pheasants and rabbits, that kind of thing. There's the kerosene lamps you saw. There's stuff, but you have to sort of get through it towards the window that you were looking through before. You suddenly realise it's dark outside. There's no light coming into this room, except for sort of moonlight. You were sure it was fairly light earlier, and as you're pushing your way through, you slowly become aware that you're not alone in here. Can you give me a spot hidden or a listen roll?
Well, I'm going to make it a spot hidden. I've always been a better speaker than a listener, and then ever since the top of my ear was sliced off in the can, I've listened even more poorly.
I apologise for that several times.
That's a regular success on my spot hidden, or I could spend a bit of luck to make it a hard success.
A regular success is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Suddenly see in the shadows glint two eyes, cold, milky white eyes behind this long, lank black hair. Perhaps momentarily you think it's Knuckles, but then as the face comes closer, you see that it's a woman's face, but she's sort of desiccated and rotting. And you can smell this sort of graveyard smell. And she opens her mouth to reveal these sort of sharp and crooked teeth. And she just opens her mouth towards you as if she's going to kiss you, but instead she inhales. And her eyes glow and her mouth glows, and you see this light coming out of your face and into her mouth. You're suddenly racked with incredible pain. This was an Apocalypse Players production. For more information about the podcast, go to apocalypseplayers.com. Thanks for listening.